Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And right away they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork, knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to find Equanimous St. Brown, but now it'll be third down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He'll return it from the 6. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. To throw is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
They go play action here on first down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. And, Charles, now we get our first look at this offense.
And one guy you have to look at in particular is Kyle Long. Can play guard or tackle with a nice degree of nastiness.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Rodgers throwing complete here to St. Brown. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 40.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Rodgers. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, and they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. A well-executed safety blitz by Tony Jefferson leads to the sack. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Rodgers going to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Jackson. And he finds a man in a crossing route. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll run on first down. It's Powers. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And a give this time to the tailback. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Quick hitter here. It's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and run for it. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball's moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Now Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Jackson forced out to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On the delay, Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
All day, every day.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On third down, here's Jones. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Andrew Luck, another strong performance, as his guys claim victory number 13 on the year. Next, we head off to check out another game, and it was the visiting Chicago Bears who come away with the victory. 30-7 was your final. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. 28-7, your final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
It's a big play there for Baltimore. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. From the gun, Jackson. And he's got it. So they tried for 2, successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball on a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. That's complete to Jake Butt. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Rodgers again now. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He'll run it. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up out.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Zadarius Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Jackson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson, and he rifles one incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Jackson from the shotgun. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Jackson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass, and when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Buying time to his left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Tucker with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. On play action, now Rodgers going for the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He completes it to Jones. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And again, it's Rodgers. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Jalen Ferguson, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. It's caught here by Adams. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, That tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. The Packers on 3rd down, as bad as you can be, 0 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Man open, it's St. Brown, he's got it. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Offense for them has into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. On 3rd down, here's Hill. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Baltimore, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.